drafts. Basically, my talk will be less technical and more about the tool. I will be discussing one tool. Using that tool, how can we write a IETF draft. Then in the previous talk, we already know about this IETF organization. Basically, this is an organization which basically deals with the internet standards. And whatever the standards right now we are using, like TCP, SMTP, IP protocols, basically all those standards are actually grabbed by some IETF draft. And I will talk about this Indian Internet Research and Engineering Forum. This is one effort which is carried by CDAC, and it is sponsored by MIT, Government of India. And then main objective of this IRF is to create a common platform where practitioner and researcher can collaborate among themselves in some specific area of interest which is in alignment with the IETF working group. And another aim is to build and nurture competencies through conduction of awareness and training programs. And we have conducted many training programs, almost more than 3,000 training programs. We have trained more than 3,000 students under this project. And we have also conducted 4 expert meetings under this project. And we can reach to this particular irf.in. Then in the terms of IETF standard is nothing but you can say at last when standards is derived and it is later converted into the protocol. All these SMTP, TCP initially started as a RFC, and later when it is accepted by the internet community, it was later converted to the IETF protocols. And this is the definition as per the IETF. And internet standard is characterized by a high degree of technical maturity and by generally held belief that the specified protocol or service provides significant benefit to the internet community. Then in the earlier talk, it's already been discussed that IETF has 7 major areas, and under each area there are number of working groups. Yeah. Then how to contribute in this IETF? Basically, if we have some problem and we are dealing with some kind of new standard, then this we can write a draft, and that draft can be circulated to the IETF websites. And later this draft will be seen by internet community, and after common consensus, once the common consensus comes, then it will be accepted by some RFC. Then my main talk is that how we can write a IETF draft. Basically, the beginning of writing RFC is how to write IETF draft. Then for writing IETF draft, there are so many tools which are available. Some tool, this one website you are seeing here, tools.ietf.org, which will list all the tools. XML to RFC is one of the most popular tools. Many people use it. What it does, it takes XML as a source file and it later converts. There are some XSL processor which will convert your XML to the IETF draft. Using XML to RFC, we can generate draft in text format, HTML format, something like this, and PDF format also. There are certain templates also provided that we can get at that particular website, tools/template. One of the most important XML source file is draft Davis template where.xml. This also we can download from that website. I will show you from where we can download it. This is the website from where we can download template. This is the template. There will be a list of templates from where we can download it. And this is the tool I was talking about. Means using this tool will take XML source as an input and then it will convert into the IATF draft. I will show you one template. This is the one template which I have downloaded from there. And if we see this template, this is the XML source. Then in this template, you can see here, this is the XML, and you will know that every XML has a root tag. Then the root tag of this XML is nothing but RFC. This RFC is the root tag. On top there are so many processing instructions. Those are some specified kind of instructions which are given to the XSLT processor. For like if you see here, like compact, yes means it will create in the compact format. There are some processing instructions. To depth means in your RFC document there will be so many sections, and inside the section also there will be subsections. Means there will be depth of up to 4. Means in your section can be another section, then another section. Means all this you can define through the processing instruction, and root tag is the RFC. Inside this RFC tag you are seeing here this category. Category is info. Info means informational. When we write RFC, there can be different kind of category. In this it is a info. Some category will be standard, STD. If it is a standard, means it is going to be converted into the some internet protocol. And BCP is the best practice. BCP means best current practice. Means there are 3 kind of RFC we can write. One is for the information. This is just for informational purpose. Another is for the best current practice. It will tell you what should be the best current practice, and then third one is the standard one, which is going to be converted into the some RFC or standard. And this is the document name. See, you can see here format of this document name. It should contain hyphen. It should not contain any other character. Like it should start with draft, then hyphen, and you can give other names like IATF. Means you can give any, after that you can give the one title. You can give any kind of characters, but it should start with draft and it should contain some hyphen. It should not contain any other character. And then here IPR, it is a intellectual property right. I will talk about through the slides. And other than that, inside this RFC there are 3 other structural elements. First is the front, then middle, and at last back. In the case of front, in the front generally we give information about authors. Means who are the authors about means information about who are the author of this RFC. Then we have to give the area under which we are going to publish it, working group name, and then keyword, and then some abstract of our RFC. In the middle section will contain the meat of your RFC. Means it will contain the content of your RFC. Means in the middle, this is the middle tag. Inside that sections are there. Inside sections there will be so many other subsections. Basically you have to write your all the content about your draft inside this middle. And then in the back, if we are using certain references, then we have to write into the back, inside the back tags. Then basically this is a one bare format. It contains list content which you can use, and you can write your own content into that and make it a RFC, and then you can upload it. With this bare content, I just want to show you how it will look like. See this where content I am taking, and this tool will convert into the one RFC draft. See, this is the RFC draft which it has converted. It has taken a XML source and it has converted into the RFC draft. You can see here, these are the author name, abstract, and these are automatically generated based on certain keys which I have provided there in the XML source. And whatever section and subsections are there, with that one table of content automatically created here, and other content is there inside here. Then basically what I want to say that this particular XML source we can use for writing XML draft. We can use this as it is, and then we can fill it with our content, and then XML draft is ready. And then once XML draft is ready, then we can upload it to the IATF data tracker. Then it will be uploaded. All the informations are there. Working group area, it will be uploaded at correct place. Then with all this basic information, then what I mean to say that if we are working with this XML source, some basic information is required, like what is XML, what is processing instruction, what is entity, what is C data sections. Certain basic informations are required. Moreover, even we don't know, still we can write the RFC because we are having the template. Then you saw there, root tag of that XML was RFC. Inside RFC, these were the attributes. One IPR was there, which was intellectual property, right? And there are this type of key. It can contain this three value like trust 2902. If it is there, means in the RFC all content is written by author. If we are giving this IPR, means all the content of RFC is written by author. If he has used some other author content, then he has specifically taken all the permission from that author. Then we can write this particular IPR. If whatever RFC we are writing, if someone wants to use it and we are giving this IPR, then he cannot modify it. Means if he wants to modify it, he can only format it. The content of RFC he cannot modify it. If the first case, and third case, if we are using this non-derivative trust something, means whatever the RFC we are writing, it is not intended for the RFC. It is just for some other purpose. Then these three kind of IPR we can define in the IPR attribute of that XML RFC root tag. Doc name I have already explained. It should start with draft and then other with hyphens. Then this is one example of root tag where category is info, IPR is trust, 200902. This is a document name, and this RFC is basically updating 1, 2, 3, 4 RFC. Means it is updating 2 RFC with the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5, and it is obsoleting another RFC like 1, 2, 3, 6. Generally, these updates and obsoletes may not be required if it is a new RFC, but if it is updating some existing RFC, then we have to mention it, and if it is making obsolete some another RFC, that also we have to mention it. Then we have seen there in the RFC, in the middle tag, we can create our means our content will be there. Then if in one section, if you want to refer some another section content, then this is the way we can do. Suppose this is a section, security consideration, and this is the anchor tag. Means with this tag we can refer this particular section in some another section. And suppose this is a section and I want to refer it in some other section, then we can use this XREF tag. And in this target we have to give the anchor name, and it will yield something like this. When we convert that XML source into the RFC, then it will yield something like this. And how to put the references? We saw that references are at the back, means at the last section of the RFC. Then generally all the references are defined through the entity at the top. I will show you most of the in this. You can see here, these generally references are defined here. These are the reference name, and these are the URL where it exists. we can define the reference at the top, and if we want to refer it in the reference section, we can use AND. This is the definition which is at the start, and this is we can use where we want to refer it. And then RFC number means identifier which we have given at the top in the entity tag. And suppose we want to refer it somewhere else in some section, then this is the X rate, and then we have to give the target and then the identifier of that reference. Then basically there are two types of reference here. One is called normative, another is the informative. In the case of normative reference, if I am writing some RFC and I am referring some another RFC, then in order to work my RFC, all the other RFC technologies should be implemented. Then only my RFC is going to work. In the case of informative references, it is just for the historical purpose and some information. In my RFC, I am just keeping it for some additional information. The implementation of that RFC technology may not be required for working of my own RFC. That kind of references are called informative references. In the if you want to create a list in my RFC draft, then this is a tag for creating that list. This is a format, and these are the content. And it will, in the RFC document, it will look like this. If we are using this in the XML source, and when we convert that XML source into the draft, then it will look like something like this.
Move that way, it blocks the view, but the wrong time you start.
Okay. Then there are some another format. You see there in this format, if we want this kind of list, then we can use this one. If we want this kind of list, then we can use this one. If we want this kind of list, we can use like this. There are another different kind of lists also. They are like bulleted or something. Then we can always refer it to the documents which are already available online at that IETF tool website. This, suppose we want to have simple indentation, then we can use this. It will give this kind of things output. Then in the C data section, suppose in the XML document, angle bracket is a reserved word. Then when we write some program, when we write some code or something, then there are some characters which are reserved in the XML. Then what in case we want to write something which XML parser should not touch it, that kind of content we can write in the C data sections. Suppose we are writing some C++ code, Java code, then we should write in the C data section. This will be converted as it is. Means parser will not go inside and try to parse it. Then generally, that kind of things generally we write character data section, which is called C data section. Whatever we write in the C data section, parser will not touch it. It will take it as it is, as some kind of characters. And suppose we are creating some kind of figure, then we can use this particular tag figure artwork inside the C data section, and then we can create some figure. Remember here, if you want to create some figure, we cannot use this JPEG format, any image format. We have to create image using the character keys only. With the help of only key, all these characters, we can create certain kind of images. Suppose we want to create some table in our RFC document, then this kind of code we have to write in the XML source. In this example, we can see here, we are going to create a text table, and then column name, 3 column names are there. One column name is IETF, second column name is city, third column name is attendee, and others are its data. When this will be converted, it will look like something like this. This code of XML, once it is converted, it will look like this. Basically, it is very easy. Create table, give the headers of your table in one row, and all data you just fill. Based on your header, 3 headers are there. First 3 data will fill first row of the first 3 column of the first row. Second 3 C see tags contents are there, accordingly it will fill. It will look like this. You can see here, my column name is IETF, CT and attendee, and all those data, these data are accordingly filled. Then I have already discussed this tool can be found at this particular IP address. What we have to do, we have to download one XML template, fill the content, write our RFC, and then upload it into the IETF website. If certain FAQ is there at that particular link, means all the information regarding this particular tool is there available. Thank you. Actually, in this I have just mentioned how to write the draft. If you want how to upload this particular draft, then what you have to do, you have to go to the IETF data tracker, you create your login account, one option will be there for submission of draft. This draft can be submitted over there. And all the information is there in the draft, like area, working group area, all these informations are there. That's why accordingly it will be uploaded into the right working group and right area. Okay, thanks.